Hi Soundies. So what we're going to do, we're going to learn about how to mix, and there are various ways of mixing. So the first way I'm going to show you is on the fly. So let me just play you this basic blues progression, minor scale blues progression that I've sort of constructed for this. So I have drums, bass guitar, a sub bass to add a bit of low end, an organ bass which mirrors the bass part, an organ pad which just holds the chords, and a piano that plays a little motif. So let me just play you a bit of it. You get the idea. So I have an additive approach. Sorry, my stool is a bit squeaky. Sorry about that. So I'm going to do the drums first, and so I'm going to mute everything else. So I can just hear the drums. Let's play them. I've got them the way I like them. I've just got a little bit of reverb. Let me switch the reverb off. There we are. That's without the reverb. On the send effect. So I want to write that. I don't want to write that level. Pretty much as it is. So anyway, on the fly. So this is version 1, on the fly. So I've highlighted the drums, and this is the input channel. So that, see drums there and drums down here. So this is the input channel. So can you see there's a little button there called read? So I'm going to switch that on. I'm just going to click, and there are various options here. There's write. Now what write does, it overwrites any other mixing that you've done up to that point. It's a kind of nuclear option. If you've messed up the track and you want to just rub over it all and start again, write is the way to go. I tend to just use latch. Now what latch does is if we move a fader, whether it's a volume or pan, and then let go of the mouse, the sound remains at that position. The fader remains at that position. Touch is when you move a fader or a pan pot, and when you let go of the mouse, it then returns back to its original position. And read, as we know. So I'm going to select latch, and there we have latch. And I'm just going to press play, and I'm going to move the fader. And there we have it. So I shall now switch. It's very important, by the way. Always remember to switch back to read. Otherwise, if you make any little tweaks on the volume and pan when you're playing back, it'll record it. So there we go. As we can see now, this is etched in green. It's background in green rather, and the text is in white, which says that it has been mixed. If I were to go to the bass guitar one here now, you'll see that the read will be in green with a grey background, like so, meaning it hasn't been mixed. So I'm going to do another on the fly. This time I'm going to do bass guitar, sub bass, and organ bass. No, I'll just do these bass two together. So they're I'm just going to play it, just to have a little get approximate levels. Kind of the way I want it. So I'm going to highlight both, press shift to highlight both, and I'm going to select latch again, and I'm going to mix that. And there we have it. So I can go back to read on these. And there we have both. Let me just check that both. That's on read. That one's not still on read. So have you noticed, these are all at 0 because I faded the pans down, the levels down. So if I go back, you notice they've all gone back up again. Okay, so organ bass. Again, I'm going to show you how to do this on the fly. Let's have a basic listen. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to pan. So I'm happy with this level. I don't want it to change. So what I'm going to mix on this is going to be the pan. So again, latch, and let's go. And there we have it. So we should see those pans work now. There we go. Okay, so that's how we mix on the fly, and that's how sorry, this squeaky stool, that's how old guys like me do it. So I'm going to show you now an alternative way, which is to use volume envelopes. And I suspect this is the one that you like. So I'll do the organ pad, I may as well. So I'm going to unmute that. We're not recording on there. Okay, so let's just play it. Nice farcifer organ sound there. So if we go up to this button up here, can you see that? And it says show hide automation. The shortcut is A, I believe. So if I click on that now, you will see the mixing I've already done in terms of volume. So there we go. Organ bass. Let me just, can you see this all corresponds to levels, yeah? And they're all set at volume, but I want to show you the organ bass that I moved on pan. So can you see in here it says volume? I can click on here and I can go to main, pan, absolute, and you see the pans that I've done. So we can actually write this in. So I'm going to do that with this organ pad. So first of all, on volume, I'm just going to click on the clip, and that highlights the volume for me. And I'm going to take it down like so. Let me zoom in so we can see things a bit more clearly. There we go. And I wanted to raise in volume at a certain point, so I'm just going to play it through. So I want that opening bit to be a bit louder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click just before the next sound comes in, the next note comes in. I'm just going to click on the volume envelope, and that creates an anchor point. And I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag this up and along with this to about, I don't know, about here. Let's see how that sounds. So I'm going to go back again. I might lift the level a little bit here, so I'm just going to click there again, the anchor. I'm going to zoom in. I don't want it to get louder until the next note comes in, so I want it to be a fairly quick bump up, just a little bit of a bump. Let's have a little listen. the final little bit. Let's have it come up quite a bit. And I want that last doo-dump bit to be a bit higher still. So I'm going to mix that a little bit higher. And then I'm just going to take the volume right out. So let's play that all the way through. There we go. So I want to change the pan on this as well. So I'm going to go from volume on the highlighted track, and I'm going to go to main, pan, absolute, like so. Click on it, and it's in the center. So I want it to be in the center for that bit, but at the point where I can vaguely see the volume there, at the point where it gets quieter, I want to pan it to the side. Can you see the pan moving, the pan pot moving as I move this volume envelope? So I wanted to pan to about there. And then at this point I wanted to come a little bit closer to the center, but not all the way, like so. And then finally, for this final bit here, I want it to be in the center, so I'm going to pan that down to center. There you go, when it goes to 0 on the pan, like so. Okay, so let's have a listen and pay attention to, let me just drag this out a bit so you can see can we see the volume? Why can't we see the volume? Oh, there it is up there. So pay attention to these as they move based on what I've actually just clicked. Excellent. And I'll do the same now for the piano. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do the pan. So it's set at volume, so I'm going to click on here and I'm going to go to main, pan, absolute. Click on the clip and there it is. So I'm going to start it off all the way to one side, and then I want it to come. I'm just going to make it bigger so we can see it a bit more clearly. There we are. So remember it's pan now, so I want it to be all one side, and then the next chord I want to be, all the other side, and so on. And I'll do that again for here. Notice how I'm using a little anchor. So I'm going to play on that. Click on this. I can move that clip along a bit, about there, yeah, just right. And I can drag all the way to there. And just keep going. And in fact, I think I might do a hybrid version of this. So I'll use these, the volume envelopes, or the key envelopes, the pan envelopes to work the pan. But I'm going to mix the volume on the fly. I think let's have that up there. Oops. And then the final one, the final pan, we'll have that down into the center. Okay, so I'm now going to mix on the fly with the volume. I'm going to leave the volume envelope open so you can see what happens when I actually move the faders. So I'm just going to go back from pan, back to volume. There's our volume. And I'm going to go to latch. And let's start off. So we're going to start off nice and quiet, and off we go. It would help. Let me undo that. Edit, undo. If I'd taken the mute away. Okay, let's try it again. So let me get my level to where I wanted to be to start. I was wondering why I couldn't hear anything. And there we have it. So that's the mixed track, very quickly mixed, I have to say. So in green are the pans, in yellow are the volume envelopes. And of course we can automate so much more than this. We can automate how much reverberation, in fact. Let me do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into here. Yeah. So it's my drum track. I'm not going to do it in keyframes. In fact, I'll just show you. Have I got anything here? Smart controls. There we go. So gain. No, I won't do it that way. It's just going to be confusing. I'm just going to do it on the fly. So there's my reverb on my drums. So I'm just going to increase. I'm going to go back to latch, and I'm just going to increase the reverb as the song progresses. There we have it, nice and dry at the very end. And that's how we mix. I can close this volume envelope down, and we're back to where we are. Let's just take this down a little bit, and let's play it all the way through the whole mixed version. Into the next verse. Okay, that's basically an introduction to mixing, using mixing techniques on the fly. I better remember to put that back to read, and manipulating volume and pan envelopes in the automation, show hide automation. There we go, it's all still there. Thank you very much.